I get it. The people who challenge me, and this is why I say the health is deep, it's mental, it's all of that. The people who challenge me the most, it's never fails. Within 90 days max, they figure out something wrong with me. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! I'm glad I got that. All right. So tell the people who you are.
Who am I? I am Blaqamore. I am author. Mm-hmm. I am a father. I am vegan-ish. I am a learner / teacher. I am that I am.
Okay. I like it. I'm going to spin these a little bit.
All right.
Tell me about why you went vegan.
Why I went vegan? Well,
why is it vegan-ish?
Vegan-ish. Well, to get to that part first, it's still a couple snacks I like, and they have dairy products in it. And I am willing, although I haven't done this, actually I think I did a couple months ago, but prior to that month ago, I haven't done it since my first year of going vegan, and I'm willing to eat wild-caught salmon and cod. But why did I do it? Well, I had high blood. I had a lot of things going on. So first of all, just a few years out of high school, I learned to have high cholesterol. At that point, I was smaller than what I am now. And of course, I was younger, 10, 11 years younger. And I say that because people, sometimes when I tell people my story, they be like, oh, that's just because you older, or that's because you was overweight. No, I was smaller than I am today with high cholesterol. There's something else going on. So, but I ain't care. I'm still 19, 20 years old. Who cares? High cholesterol, I don't even know what that is. Fast forward some years, and so I was in Georgia, and one of my homies, he deals with high blood pressure. He was the first dude, first of my homies, my peers that I knew who had health conditions like that. And he would go out and order egg whites and all this healthy shit. I'm like, what are you doing? Who goes to Arby's and gets an apple instead of the curly fries? Are you bugging? So he had a blood pressure machine at the house. And he was like, I don't know, Black, you be going to Waffle House all the time. I need to check your blood pressure, B. So we checked my joint. He was like, so, you want the top number to be 120 and the bottom one to be 80. If it's higher than that, then you tripping. If it's over 130, you probably need some medicine. If it's over 140, nigga, yo. So I said, hey, do the shit. So we do it. By the way, my mom's a nurse. That'll make sense in a second. So we take my blood pressure. And the numbers, they shoot up real fast and then they get to coming back down. Then when it got to like the 160s and 150s, it's coming down slower and slower. Like, numbers go down a little bit more than that, right? And it was like 140 something over like 90 something. And it's the homie. Woo, shit! So, honestly, I'm scared a little bit. I'm telling you, I'm scared a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, First, mind you, I'm still in my 20s. And, my sibling's dad just had a stroke. Man, he's somebody who was he's real sharp and all that with the mind. And he was like a shell of himself after having a stroke. And that was always a fear of mine. Like, I don't ever want to lose my mind or my brain. So I called my mom, because like I said, she's a nurse. And I said, yeah, so I just did my blood pressure. And he talking about if it's this number and that number and it's too high. What you think? She said, you said it's what? I said, it's 140 over 90 something. Whoo, boy, that's stroke territory. Damn. So now I'm scared a lot of it. But I'm not scared enough. So in addition to that, I mean, that hit me a little bit, but not too much. I was more so still vain as far as, the homies also tell me, like, I know you're eating Waffle House a lot, you kind of put on a little weight there. So my whole thing was I just want to lose weight just to look good again. And that is not, if that's your only why, that usually doesn't work. I'm trying all these different diets, keto, and not eating. I'm going to Subway, getting sandwiches without the bread, all kind of dumb shit. Going out jogging. So, you went jogging before, right?
act like this was a one-time occurrence.
So, I don't know if you're familiar or not, but something happens when you go jog, especially if you haven't went running in a long time. You build up this lactic acid, and this can cause you to itch, primarily in the hamstrings and the gluteus maximus, aka your ass. So I have went quite a ways from home on this jog. It's a busy street. You can laugh. I see you know it. It's okay. It's a busy street. Cobb Parkway, for those of you in Atlanta. I know the street's kind of busy. It's like Ames of Omaha. Maybe not Dodge, but it's busy. And so I'm on the way back because I'm itching. My ass is on fire. I just make it off the busy street. At this point, my hands is in my pants. I don't care. I swear to God, I did not make it in the house with my pants.
So, what?
Don't go jogging. If you ain't been jogging in a long time, don't go too far away from home. Your ass will itch intensely.
That one a totally different
I know. But anyway, to answer your question, it just reminded me of that. So, anyway, I say that to say I tried all these different things and I failed at it, but it didn't work. Okay? No exercise or diet in the world.
Exercise and no. Let's see what else I got.
So anyway, try these different diets. They don't work. They'll work for a minute. I lose 5 pounds. I put back on 10. That's the cycle going on for years and years and years. So now I come back to Nebraska, started a family and all of that, and people are dying, right? I remember, so it's a couple of deaths that stick out to me. One of them is Q from World Star. You know the dude from World Star? Q. He was a big dude. He called himself trying to eat healthy. And in the middle of him already eating healthy, he still dies. What? I don't know exactly, but something is stroke, heart attack, something common that's easily preventable. Somebody else, they was about 38 or 39 years old. They wasn't big or nothing. Died of an aneurysm. I met him at his grandmother's funeral, in which we had fried chicken and macaroni and cheese and all these things. So, all of that, in addition to my siblings and them having a stroke, it's a little more real to me now. And then I take my blood pressure again and step at my mom's house. I remember it. So this is another funny story. I'm on the way to the bar, but I stopped at my mom's house first. She said, I don't know, you're getting bigger. You're way bigger than you was when you was in Atlanta and all that. You can check your blood pressure, boy. You got a daughter now. I'm like, yeah, whatever, do the thing. So this time, now I told you, the top number was supposed to be 120, and the bottom number was supposed to be 80. And actually, that's a lie. The top number should be no higher than 110. The bottom number should be no higher than 70. And okay, so I do it. I'm still in my 20s. Now it's 170 something over 100 something. I just know I'm gonna die now. That scared me for real. And just to add some insult to injury, well, I already shared an embarrassing story. We won't do that.
Come on, you just started.
Nah, we don't have to do that. But yeah, so I got this 170 plus, over 100 plus blood pressure. People are dying in the middle of eating healthy. They're having strokes in the middle of eating healthy. So I'm like, it must not be that healthy. I've never known anybody on medication to get better. So I was like, I got to figure out something. Because I at least want to see my daughter graduate at this rate. I don't know if I see her make it to junior high. So that forced me to actually literally study for my life. That's what I'm studying at. You know me. I'm not giving up wings without a good reason. Okay?
You are a badass.
So yeah, long story short, even though the story is already long, but kind of just wrap it on up. I was scared I was going to die. And so in the middle of studying all that, it just enlightens you like, oh, I didn't know this was that, but they taught us this. But the science says this and this and that. And then I'm looking at statistics, like, damn, we get this much and this preventable. So I was like, yo, a lot of this shit could be prevented relatively easy. I need to tell people. And then when I seen it work for me, so I didn't expect it to work that fast either. I'm like, it took me 20 plus years to get to this way. It's going to take some years before it comes down. I'm expecting to drop 10 points in 2 years. I do it for 2 months and I'm good. Whoo! Changed my life. And spiritually, like everything. Like I have more clarity. I have more empathy. I was crying. I hadn't cried since I hadn't cried since my grandma died, which I was probably like 10 or 11 years old. So decades of not crying. I finally shed a tear.
You
So
feel like the food was the reason.
yes, the food is much deeper than just good blood pressure and looking good. I would say it's spiritual.
Wow. That's what's up. I didn't know that.
Because you're eating death. You're eating a bunch of things that was murdered, and the last thing they see before they died is the murderer. They secrete certain hormones. Now you're consuming those hormones. You're consuming the cholesterol. We get most of our hormones produced from our cholesterol. We have no business consuming no cholesterol outside of our own because we produce our own cholesterol because it makes our own hormones so we can act the way we act. You're going to consume cholesterol that produces animal hormones of an animal that's about to die. That might do something to you because now those hormones is like instructions. So you got murdered animal hormones telling you what to do in your body. That might do something to you.
Right. That's deep. I did not think of it like that.
Yeah.
So when you're eating a plant, you're eating life.
Eating life.
But you might think, like, chop a plant, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, I mean, they got feelings and all that, but they're not sentient beings. So
What's that mean?
sentient, like, you actually move around, walk and talk.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, like they're alive, but they ain't sentient alive.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. So tell me about how you, first off, because everything starts at home, how are you portraying that to your kids? The whole vegan lifestyle, about the healthiness, about the not eating things that are scared because they died, and putting that into your body.
Yeah, I'm for real with that. But you know, I met my children's mother at a point when I wasn't like that. She hasn't had a reason to change herself. So we don't always agree with the food and all. I'm always beefing with her about what she feeds her. Same thing with my daughter's grandma, which is my mother. You know. But when she's with me, I teach her what she eats. And you know, when you teach your children what they're eating, they're not so quick to eat it. When I taught them, yeah, you know, this was a cow that used to be alive. I used to say moo and all that. They didn't want to eat burgers and shit no more. You know, but we'll try to say, oh, it's okay, just eat it. Eat the meat. And they always make sure you eat your meat. Most children don't like, I didn't eat meat when I was a child. Naturally, I was trained to eat meat. Most of us are trained to eat meat.
Yeah.
So
what's the secret then? So that means they're not eating meat. That means they're eating vegetables. And that's unheard of. Well, you know, unheard of for kids to eat vegetables. So how do you, okay, you say no to meat because it used to be a cow. How do you make them say yes to the vegetables?
we don't have to make them.
Nothing else.
We don't have to. But the thing is, because it don't really be vegetables, because it's more food groups than just vegetables. So that's something else I don't like. Like, are you vegan? Go eat your lettuce and your carrot. I don't eat neither one. I don't like lettuce, or I never like lettuce.
So you don't like vegetables?
Excuse me?
You don't like vegetables?
Not really, just dark leafy greens. And I guess potatoes count as a vegetable. I do that all day. And those are the vegetables that we like. Most of the vegetables that we don't like, we don't need to eat them like that. We don't really need carrots. You don't really need